Hello, everybody. Welcome to week number 1 of Fill Your Cup with Self-Compassion. My name is Mike Massey, also known as Mindful Mike. It is my honor and my privilege to help you in the next 4 weeks fill your cup up. With what, Mike? Self-compassion. Great question. This program is about you, capital Y-O-U. What I've found, especially for people that work with people and serve people for a living, is that we typically put ourselves at the bottom of who we help. You know, we're there for our children, maybe we're there for our patients or for our clients or for our siblings, but I find that we typically have no time for us. This is about you filling your cup up, especially at Blue Water Health with the work that you do. I believe it's very important that we take a little bit of time, not a lot of time, that we take a little bit of time each day to fill your cup up. If there's any questions ever throughout this program, all you have to do is go to mindfulmike.ca, hit contact Mike, and I'll answer your questions as fast as I can. I'm excellent at getting back to people within a business day. And I mean this. Do not think that you're bothering me if you have a question about your self-compassion practice. Okay? I'm going to attach all the links and to the meditations in the program in this video below. And again, if there's any questions ever, fire me a question, a text, doesn't matter. When it is, I'll, within a business day, for sure get back to you and answer that. Why self-compassion? It's my belief and my experience that if you make time for yourself daily, yes, daily, it doesn't have to be a 45-minute practice. It doesn't have to be an hour practice. It can be something as subtle as 3 minutes a day, setting the intent to fill your cup up. Each week, over the 4 weeks, we're going to look at a subtle practice that you can do formally and informally. A formal practice is a guided practice. You put your earbuds in, or you put your headphones on, you listen to the guided meditation, or training your mind to come back to the present moment. An informal practice is a practice that you can do when you're brushing your teeth, or maybe on your drive to work if you're still driving to work. Or it might be something when your kids are being frustrating at home and you're noticing your emotions, that you can apply those to the here and now. Especially with the work that you do, serving the public and working with the community, when you have a lot of energy going out, right? And by energy, I mean your thoughts, your words, and your deeds. And when you have a lot of energy going out, I believe it's very important that we take time and fill our cup up. It doesn't mean your cup's going to be full at the start and end of every day. I work in the real world. I'm realistic. But what I want to help you do is give you these tools and techniques so you can make a part of loving yourself a part of your everyday. As weird as that sounds. You know, my intent with you, by the end of these 4 weeks, you can love yourself or hold yourself in the way that you would hold a loved one. You know, when I started getting into self-compassion, I found it very awkward, to be honest, at the start, to just sit and love myself because I was so used to giving out all the time. But it's my experience, not only teaching mindfulness for the last 15 years, but it's also my experience just as a partner and as a parent, that when I take the time, and again, not a lot of time, when I take a little bit of time, subtle moments of depositing emotional wealth, as I call it. If I wake up and I do a 5-minute practice, and then later on in the day I do a 6-minute practice, and then maybe when I'm brushing my teeth I do a 2-minute practice, that adds up throughout the day. And those little subtle practices have a significant impact after 4 to 8 weeks. So for you, this isn't about all of a sudden, shaving your head, moving to a monastery and becoming all zen and you're all seeing rainbows and daisies and so happy all the time. That's not realistic. You know, for most of us with aging parents or maybe with children, there's a lot of things to worry about right now. And there's a lot of energy going out. But what I would love to see, and my intent with this program, is that you learn how to make these little emotional wealth deposits throughout the day. Right? Because maybe you do it 4 or 5 times throughout the week. Well, at the end of 4 weeks, you've significantly made an impact with these little subtle practices. Okay, that's my intent with you and this practice. So let's take a look at our first practice. Our first practice is one of my personal favorites, and it's a gratitude check-in. This is one of the shorter practices that we'll be doing. Most of the practices that we'll be doing over these 4 weeks for Fill Up Your Cup with Self-Compassion are anywhere from 3 to 10 minutes long. Now, that doesn't mean you have to do them all together. Maybe like this week, there's 2 practices. You can do one in the morning, you can do one in the night. It's up to you and your schedule, depending on what's best for you. And again, this isn't about being calm and chill all the time. This is about you training your mind to be nicer to yourself. I know, crazy idea. This is about you being able to talk to yourself as if you are talking to someone who you love. A regular practice of self-compassion is our ability to constantly show up and to hold ourselves with compassion and not judgment. So this week's first practice is the formal practice of gratitude. Let's first start with this. So what I'd like you to do, or what I would suggest that you do, is allow your eyes to close. And I first just want to start with the breathing technique of breathing in through your nose and then out your mouth. Good. And again, breathing in through your nose and then out your mouth. Excellent. Again, breathing in and then out. Good. Breathing in through the nose. Nice, long, deep breath out of the mouth. And now what I suggest that you do is think about someone or something that you're grateful or thankful of. So bring that person or that place forward. And as you think of them, breathing in, and as you think of them, breathing in through your nose. And then as you breathe out, focus on that breath leaving the body. And again, breathing in. And as you breathe in, thinking about that person or that place that you're grateful for or thankful of. And then as you breathe out, focusing on that breath leaving the mouth out, out, out. Good. And again, breathing in. And as you breathe in, thinking about what you're grateful or thankful of. And then as you breathe out, you're focusing on that breath leaving out, out, out. And your mind may wander off to thoughts or thinking, but we're going to come back and focus on that breath in. And as we're focusing on that breath in, we're thinking about what we're grateful or thankful of. And then as you breathe out, we're focusing on that breath leaving and going out, out, out. Good. And again, breathing in. And as you're breathing in, we're noticing what we're grateful or thankful of. And then as we breathe out, we're using that breath as an anchor to come back and to focus on it leaving the body out. Excellent. And again, breathing in. And then as we breathe out, focus on that breath leaving out. Good. Now just doing this at your own pace, just for a little longer. Whenever you feel that your body needs to breathe in, invite it to breathe in and thinking about what we're grateful or thankful of. You can do that by image or sound, by self-talk. And then as you breathe out, we really want to focus on that breath leaving the body. So it could be the sensation of air going out of your mouth. Or perhaps you can switch this to on the in-breath. We can expand, notice that expansion quality of our breathing. And then as you breathe out, we're noticing that contraction quality of our breathing. Good, and we're just pairing that as we breathe in. We're thinking about what we're grateful or thankful of. And then as we breathe out, we're focusing on that breath leaving and going out, 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 out. Good, breathing in. And then out. Great, and when you're ready, very slowly and gently, just allowing your eyes to open. Excellent. It's a little longer than what's online. That was just about 4 minutes. But if you can do 4 minutes now, you can definitely do 3 minutes tomorrow. The hardest obstacle for most is making the time for themselves. That's what I've found. Statistically speaking, you are less likely to do something at the end of the day for yourself. A common question I always get is, Mike, when's the best time to meditate? Well, there's no actually best time to meditate. People have a successful meditation practice at night. I would look at the study of willpower, which we'll get into later on. But when we start looking at willpower, you usually have more willpower in the morning. Because as you go to work, or maybe as you're dealing with kids at school 24/7 like I am, you find that maybe your patience and your willpower starts to do this. It starts to go down. So what I typically do is I wake up and I do a short to mid-sized practice as soon as I wake up. So for you, if you go to mindfulmike.ca, you're going to click on the Blue Water Health link for you to fill your cup up. Again, all going to be below in the link. You click on that. You do the gratitude practice first thing. You start your day with gratitude. I personally love to start my day with gratitude, not only for the meditation purpose of it, but then as you start going throughout the day, you might start also looking for what you're grateful for. You know, maybe something happens at work and you go, wow, I'm actually really grateful for that. I might use that in my practice tomorrow. Your mind starts to identify that, right? Our mind does a great job at identifying things similar to. So if you find something that resonates with you, and then all of a sudden you purposely throughout your day start saying, oh, I might use that in my practice. You know, I was really grateful for that person that sent that email to me. That was really nice of them. They didn't have to do that. You start to be able to use gratitude throughout the day. Our second practice for this week, Fill Your Cup with Compassion, is all about you again. I know, crazy, right? This is about you holding yourself with love. Again, when I started getting into self-compassion, the idea of holding myself like this with love felt very foreign. And it felt in a way that I was uncomfortable with. So I just kept leaning into it. And now I would say at least about 90% of my practices, I'm doing holding myself with love. And I find that one of the beautiful byproducts of having a regular practice of self-care is it's a nicer place to visit in here. I just find that I'm nicer to myself. You know, one example that I can give before we go on to the meditation practice, I was doing a lot of work. I do a lot of work in Bruce County, and I would go up there for 3 or 4 days, and I was working with their first responders. Typically, I was working with their paramedics, and then I worked with some of their county staff. And then I was there for 4 days, and I was home for half a day, and then I was in Windsor training their health unit for 3 days. So out of an entire week, I was home with my kids for half a day. And on my drive to Windsor, which is, you know, from Stratford, it's a very boring drive. And it was just like flat and boring. And I started to feel sad. And I thought, you know what? I'm really missing my kids and my wife. And my mind right away was like, shut up. You would have killed to be this busy 5 years ago in your business. What are you complaining about? You're going to be fine. Many people are on the road all the time. You have it great, blah, 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 blah. And I thought, well, this isn't very compassionate to myself. So what I did very quickly was I thought if my wife was in my car next to me and she was like, you know what, Mike, I've been away from the kids for this entire week. I haven't spent much time with you or them. I'm kind of bummed out. I would not tell her to shut up. I wouldn't say, shut up, you're making great money doing this. Shut up, you would have killed to be this busy so many years ago. I would have said, well, of course, honey, you missed the kids. That's okay. So I started to use this practice informally. And once again, this isn't about every time I'm experiencing sadness or frustration or guilt or anger, I close my eyes and I go, yay, this is great. But I start talking to myself as if I'm talking to a client, or most importantly, someone that I love. So I found that through repetition of doing this practice over and over and over and over again, I just literally started to hold myself with love. So what I often do is that when I'm dealing with a situation, I imagine if one of my kids were experiencing that, how would I hold them? If one of my kids were angry or frustrated, how would I hold them? If my wife was missing the children and she hadn't seen them in a week, how would I say to her? So I found that creating this practice of self-care and creating this filter system in my mind of looking at things as if I'm talking to someone that I love, because I do love myself. But I found that I've been so judgmental and so, you know, and I would hold things in a way that is not really fair to me. I found by doing a regular practice of self-care and a regular practice of self-love that I'm just better off overall. This is a nicer place to be, okay? And we're in here a lot. So let's do this practice, shall we? So what I would suggest is allow your eyes to close. And for this one, I highly suggest that you put your hand over your heart. So just suggesting that you put your hand on your heart. You can mess around. You can put 2 hands on. You can go hand over hand. I typically put my right hand over my heart center. But again, whatever feels comfortable for you. There's no right or wrong here. And all I want you to do is I want you just to take this moment to look at how you do care and cherish for your own well-being. How you do care and cherish yourself. How you want to be physically well. How you want to be mentally well. Perhaps even looking at the intent for why you're watching this video, for why you're doing this video. So just taking these moments and acknowledging how you do love and care for yourself. And again, just starting with our breath breathing in through the nose. Nice long breath out the mouth. Good. And again, breathing in. Nice long breath out the mouth. And again, doesn't matter when your mind wanders off. Don't get mad at your mind for wandering. Invite it to come back, breathing in through your nose. Long, deep breath out the mouth. Good. And again, breathing in, noticing that breath coming in, and then breathing out. It's just breathing at your own pace. And all I want you to say to yourself, say very kindly to yourself, may I be loved. May I be healthy. May I be happy. May I experience the ease of well-being. And may I be at peace. So again, just repeating after me. May I be loved. May I be healthy. May I be happy. May I experience the ease of well-being, and may I be at peace. And again, noticing when your mind wanders off, gently coming back. May I be loved. May I be healthy. May I be happy. May I experience the ease of well-being, and may I be at peace. And again, if you're finding this hard or challenging, focus on your breath or focus on your hand touching your chest and imagine holding yourself as if you're holding someone who you love. And again, repeating to yourself, may I be loved. May I be healthy. May I be happy. May I experience this ease of well-being, and may I be at peace. And again, may I be loved. May I be healthy. May I be happy. May I experience the ease of well-being. And may I be at peace. Just holding yourself as if you're holding someone who you love. And just finish by taking a couple of these deep breaths in. And then out, focusing on that breath, leaving out. Good, and again, breathing in. And then breathing out. And when you're ready, very slowly and gently allow your eyes to open as you bring back this wonderful sense of self-love and self-compassion that you created. Excellent. This practice is truly all about you. So you might find a lot of resistance to doing this. You might find that it's foreign. You're not used to making this time for yourself. That's totally fine. I want you to act as if you are teaching this to a child or to someone that you love. And when they meet obstacles or barriers, that you are able to go, hey, that's okay. You know, I wanted to do this every day. I only did it 4 times this week. That's a win. If you do it 3 or 4 times a week, that's probably 3 or 4 times more than you did the previous week. This is about you planting the seeds of taking care of you. Because if your cup is full or 80%, you actually have more to give. You know, I always hate using that analogy of put your air mask on first, but it's true. I know personally from running a business during COVID, right? Both my wife and I are self-employed. I know from running a business during COVID and having, you know, aging parents and having these children of mine who are home all the time, I know there's a lot of energy going out right now, right? I'm grateful for the work that you all are doing. It's very important that you make sure you have energy to give, or there becomes burnout. That's why I personally got into the practice of mindfulness, because I was burnt out. So I urge you that if you have any questions ever, to message me via my website or Instagram, Mindful Massey, M-A-S-S-E. Please do not feel like you're bothering me. I take time for every program that I run to answer those questions. So again, follow the links below. It'll take you to where you need to go. All the meditations work on any device or application, or sorry, any device. If you have any questions ever, please do not feel free to message me. Thank you so much.